Jim here. Thanks for clicking on the video. This is my first non-solo canoe trip, and the weather made it a bit of a challenge, but we had a good time, and I hope you enjoy the video. Yeah, back in Algonquin. We're on a 4-night, 5-day trip. Me and a friend of mine rented a tandem canoe at Algonquin Outfitters and have set up camp here on the east arm of Canoe Lake for the start. There's my tent set up. View. This is my buddy's tent, Bob. Had a couple of showers move through a minute ago. So we set up my new tarp, had breakfast back here. This is very nice. Hasn't rained much at all, just a couple of very light showers, but still. I'm figuring it was because we went to the effort to set up the tarp that we had no significant rain. If I hadn't set up the tarp, it probably would have downpoured. All right, moving over from the tent site where we got our tent set up. It's a cloudy morning, not terribly cold, 50s. There's the fire pit that we fixed up last night. It was a massive mess of jumbled rock. Had a very nice fire last night, leaving a little bit of wood for the next campers. And there's the view out over the east arm of Canoe Lake. There's the canoe down there. It is a Keewaydin 16 tandem, of course, and I have the Keewaydin 15 solo, and I just can't believe how much bigger the tandem is for being only 1 foot longer. You could easily fit my canoe in that canoe, but it paddles very nicely. Very pleased with how it paddles. So, this is our first night, east arm of Canoe Lake. Now we're going to finish packing up, get in the boat, and head over to Little Otterslide. It's supposed to be a cloudy day all day today, chance of showers. The warm front coming in though, so temperature's getting up to 65. But all in all, not bad. See you over there. All right, we've just come from Burn Island, and we're at Little Otterslide. At the put-in, water level is way low. Down about 1.5 feet, it looks like. On our way to our campsite at Little Otterslide. Had some pretty good winds coming across on Burn Island, but they were tailwinds. So that was good, but the waves were starting to kick up as we got to the far side. So next up, go ahead a little bit, round the bend, little Otterslide. Little Otterslide Lake. We're camped here. It's been gray and cloudy much of the day. We had rain last night, and the wind is kicking up a bit again. It's out of the north. It's about 50 degrees. Kind of chilly. Having to put on a fair amount of clothes to warm up. But here, take you around camp. Show you what we got. We hauled out right here. Had to be very careful to come in between those two rocks. Water is down about 1.5 feet. You can see the line where the water level normally is, and it is down everywhere that we've been so far. There's the canoe, Keewaydin 16. Got the tarp rigged as a wind block. Winds are coming out of the north. Been sitting in there, staying out of the wind, staying a little bit warmer. Pack hanging on the tree. It's my new Z-Packs pack. Waterproof. It's been great on this trip. I packed it full of everything. It was 41 pounds when I left home. Tent, spare shoes. This used to be the launch point where you could access this campsite. But again, the water levels, you can really see the line where the water level usually is, and a little bit of bottom paint on that rock from days gone by, but the water levels are really low here today. Take you out to one of our favorite viewpoints. A little spit of rock. We set out here for a while. Very nice view. A bit chilly right now. The wind out of the north is blowing straight at us. And back to camp. Brought my solo stove and pot. Even though it says MSR on it, that's actually my solo stove, and it's pot inside there. Been cooking on this stump. The night's firewood. Got some birch, some pine. Did a major cleanup on this fire ring so that we can actually get some heat out of this side. Got that really built up. There's my friend's tent over there. Went back up that hill earlier this afternoon. That is perhaps the biggest birch tree, paper birch, I have ever seen. On top of the hill, behind our campsite, loaded with birch and big pine, spruce. I scored some wood. Got our bags, food bags hung up. And this is the campsite. Almost dinner time. Mountain House beef stroganoff. Looking forward to it. And tonight, the water levels are down about 1.5 feet, and it has been a problem finding a landing for pretty much every campsite we found. Looks like someone has actually stacked rocks to extend that. Got just a little bit of a gravelly landing zone down there. All those rocks exposed would probably be mostly underwater at normal water levels. Small island just off the north shore of Big Otterslide Lake, on top of the highest point on the island, and the Thunderbox has the commanding view.
On day 4, it got sunny, but it got very windy, and we had a real struggle getting across Burnt Island Lake, especially on the eastern side due to the amount of wind and waves. But we ended up camping on the small island in the Narrows at the southwest corner of Burnt Island and had a glorious evening.
At the southwest end of Burnt Island Lake, camped on the island right at the Narrows. This is what it looks like up top. Soft pine needles. Found a small place to pitch my tent. Walk you down here. All Canadian shield granite. can see on that stump over there how low the water is. Down an easy 1.5 feet here. Oh, excuse me, 0.5 meter. It's Canada. Heading in today, but we probably have headwinds on Canoe Lake.
After an excellent start to the morning, the winds really started to pick up out of the southeast, and it got very, very windy. We made our way down the eastern shore of Little Joe Lake and the East Arm, and when we got to Canoe Lake, the wind seemed like it had started to shift out of the southwest, which it had forecast to do. We crossed back over to the eastern shore and made our way to the launch point. After we dropped the canoe off at Algonquin Outfitters, the guy there told us that several people had to be rescued, stranded on the north end of Canoe Lake by the winds. It was a good trip overall, despite the gray and cloudy conditions. Very enjoyable.